Hey. We're live. Welcome, everyone, to Super Serial Showtime, as always. I'm your host, Metal, and joining me is my co-host, Marsupial Gamer. The fall lineup for the, anime mostly, that's what we're watching, but the fall lineup for everything has kind of started. This is about the time it does. So we'll talk about some of the stuff that we've been watching. We've caught some, first episodes to some seasons. We caught a recap to a show that it doesn't start till next week, and a bunch of other things. So, yeah, grab some friends, get them in here, share it out with as many people as you know. I know you don't know that many people, but as many people as you know, and we'll have a good time. How was your day?
Indeed. I don't know. It's been weird lately. Just too relaxed, maybe. I don't know. I guess because we've kind of had a schedule with projects and stuff. It's been sort of like, work on stuff. No big deal. No deadlines. Very weird. I guess that's good. How about
Yeah.
you?
Well, I was streaming Genshin, so that's always just kind of relaxing. There's no pressure when you're playing Genshin, so it's like, it was a pretty chill day.
Come on. Gotta beat it fast.
Well, no. So we're so far behind. Like we literally just left the prologue of the game on this the Vomitorium's account today, because we'd had problems streaming it in the past. There's I'm not in a rush to beat Genshin at all. This is just a chill thing we're gonna do on the side. It's just 5 years to catch up, you know.
Yeah. Alrighty.
But we made it into Liwa, so that's
like-
pretty good. Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
It's nice and cool outside, hasn't it? I mean, did it get above 95?
I think so. Maybe I think it was 96 actually. Just literally 1 degree above 95 when I went out for a walk earlier.
Yeah.
But it's been,
relatively cool.
Yeah, compared to what it normally is. I left the AC on 80 today, which was always fine for me. But it's been so cool outside that when I dropped it before the show, it took no time at all to get down to a reasonable temperature for my laptop to function at.
I know, it feels cold. Last night I was felt like I was burning up, and it was set to
Really?
72.
You had it set to 70
freezing.
in here, and I was freezing.
I know, I had to turn it down because I was like, it's so hot.
You
I
must
don't
have
know
been
why.
sick or something. I don't know.
Maybe.
Hey, Fizz. Hey,
Now
Kefnet.
it's set to 74, and I'm kind of freezing.
Yeah. Oh, you can turn it up to 76 if you want. That's the lowest it needs to be for my computer to function.
Well, I went over to see Peach. She was nice and warm in her blanket, but
But it was
she said
freezing
she was
there.
cold last night too. Yeah. So it's a time of year when it's well, I guess not quite, because it does get up to 95 during the day, but at night, if you don't set it, if you set it to a reasonable temperature, 74 or 72, it won't come on, because it's
It was
house isn't
68
warming
degrees
up.
outside last night.
yeah, so the air never comes on. So it doesn't feel, it feels stagnant and they get hot. Yeah, technically it's 72 in here, but the air's not moving. It feels stuck.
That's how I like it, actually. I like it with the air not moving. That's what makes me feel cold, is the moving air. If it's just a comfortable temperature and the air's not moving, I'm comfortable.
Listen, a little extra padding warming us up.
It's I get really cold at night because the places where I happen to sit, and Marsupial can chime in, I end up walking around with a hoodie on half the time after the sun goes down. I just happen to sit directly under where there's air conditioning. The chair I sit in the living room has the vent right over it.
Yeah.
But anyway, enough about complaining about climate control.
Yeah. Look, I don't think we could find it last night, but I finally see the true, trailer to One Punch Man season 3, like the one everyone's been talking about, I could not find it until just now. I sort of see what they're saying, like there's really no action in the trailer, but the animation looks fine to me.
Yeah,
Everyone's complaining about the animation.
and they're gonna keep complaining it, and they're dipshits. I'm just gonna straight up say it. They're fucking dipshits complaining about the animation of it. It is a drop from season 1. But like I was telling to you,
But
a drop doesn't matter when it's still competent. It's because Madhouse did season 1, and Madhouse is like comparing this to Madhouse is like comparing any Hanna-Barbera show to freaking Tex Avery working at MGM back in like the 50s or 60s. Yeah, that's the top of the line. He's kicking everyone's butt, but that doesn't mean the other show looks bad.
yeah, I mean, and it's the same studio as last year, right?
Yes, it's JC Staff. JC Staff is still working on it, and I thought season 2 looked good enough.
Yeah. I mean, this trailer looks fine to me.
Yeah,
I don't know if I dare play it, but to me, it's like as long as it's, the story's still gonna be good. They're still gonna follow the anime, right? They're still gonna.
Well, I mean, this is the anime. You mean the manga?
Have the humor. I mean, the manga. They're still gonna follow the manga. They're not gonna change the script and make it completely different.
Yeah, so even the
It's not
manga
like it's
kind of
suddenly-
changed the script from the source material. But yes, it will be following what the manga has been doing, more or less.
Yeah.
Which I've heard some people complain about because the webcomic is better than the manga as far as like humor and storytelling goes. People just kind of like the manga more because the art is really, really good. And the action is good. But honestly, I think one is better at framing a scene and actually directing a scene than what's his name is Murata, the artist. It's like he's a much more competent artist. So I'm not going to say like illustrative level. Murata kicks one's butt all over the court. He kicks a lot of people's butt all over the court. But when it comes to like framing a scene, comedy, even an action scene, one's just better. He's a better director, and Murata does a lot of things different in the manga. So it's like, it's a trade-off.
Well, I think Fitzgerald's right. The fight scenes barely even matter in One Punch Man. I mean, there's some cool action scenes like with other characters, but like, it's frustrating for me because I'm like, just call Saitama. What are you doing wasting all this time?
Well, the sad part is up until way later, which we're not going to get to that in this season. We're probably maybe season 5 is when that would happen at the pace we're going, unless they crunch some things. There's no fight with Saitama that truly matters again until like way later, like it did with the Burroughs fight, right? And it's because Garo's got to get there. So pretty much up until then, all the fights that do matter are with other people. And their fights do matter, and the action scenes are great with the other people. They are narratively important, and if anybody tries to dismiss that, they don't understand the type of story that we're like reading or watching. But yeah, Madhouse did some wonderful fight scenes. I don't think JC Staff's fight scenes were bad though.
Yeah, I didn't. It's one of those things where I did not
Also hate Flip.
I didn't think anything, negative about season 2 until I saw all these people online complaining about it. Like, I still don't think anything. I don't know what they're complaining about. Seems good to me.
I told you too. Well, we were talking about this like last night while we were watching stuff or whatever, right? And it was either last night or Saturday. I don't remember exactly. But these type of people that you're seeing all the complaints from are the people who were in the anime club in high school, right? They're a bunch of spurgs. Yeah. You probably shouldn't take their opinions too seriously. They are the kind of like the embassy, though, right? Like, if obviously anime and the core fandom originally is the Japanese, but the people who were in it for a long time are the embassy that they come to, right? The weebs. But there's a really good reason why I refused to join that club, even though I had been watching anime a lot longer than some of those people were, and it was because they're a bunch of spurgs. And it's like, I was friends with them too. It's like, I like you guys individually, not in a group, when we're doing other things, and maybe sometimes we could talk about the anime we watch. I don't want to go specifically to a club where a bunch of you are going to spurg out the whole time. That does not sound like fun to me. It's why I don't hang out in comic book shops.
Yeah, it's rather annoying. I'm like, just enjoy the show. It's a good show. If you like it, just like it.
Yeah. And if you don't,
give it a
stop
minute,
watching
like,
it. Yeah. Stop giving it attention.
Be like, yeah. I mean, it's one thing if it's like, we've seen plenty of instances where a show is good and then they like ruin it because they change the script, change the story or something. But like, there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
It's fine. Like, the level of angst is just through the...
Yeah. It's like JC Staff has a really long track record of making good shows, too, I pointed some out to you. I think you've seen any of the ones that they've done other than One Punch Man. But, like, one of the most popular ones they've ever done was the adaptation for Azumanga Daioh, So it's like, they'll do all right. I don't know. Flit says, I'm gonna be real, I gave up on One Punch Man once I discovered how superior Mob Psycho 100 is. The thing is, what little I've gotten into Mob Psycho, I agree, I do think it's superior, but that's also why I haven't really dove into it yet, because I don't want to, like, finish Mob Psycho and then look less upon One Punch Man as I'm trying to finish it. I don't want to look on it the same way that, like, I really like Yu Yu Hakusho, and Hunter x Hunter is just way worse than Yu Yu Hakusho. It's not bad, but it's not as good as his previous story, Yu Yu Hakusho, and for a long time it stopped me from being able to enjoy Hunter x Hunter at all. I don't want to do that, so I'm kind of like reserving getting deep into Mob Psycho until after One Punch Man is over. That may be many, many years. But that's kind of my reservation there.
What is Mob Psycho 100?
It was a previous story done by one, or I guess their kind of webcomic was going on around the same time or whatever. But it's about a kid who's psychic. His powers are very, very much like Tatsumaki, Twisted Tornado's powers, but more so. He's also a person who's just like overpowered, doesn't really have limiters or whatever, but it's all psychic stuff. He's a kid. He has to deal with like other psychics and stuff like that. It's a very funny and psychological series.
Well, apparently Crunchyroll is supposedly streaming One Punch Man, even though we couldn't find it at all last night, especially the trailer or anything. Like, there's no indication that they're streaming it, but every article says they are, so okay.
Flit, it's the same thing. It's like the same guy who did Hunter x Hunter also did Yu Yu Hakusho. I liked Yu Yu Hakusho. I couldn't stand Hunter x Hunter. It's like, yeah. That's about how I felt too. Yu Yu Hakusho is just better. He peaked. But this is like no fight Saitama gets into should matter because it ends just as quickly as it starts. Well, there's a couple fights that matter.
They
There's
draw
a
it out.
few. Well, there's a few throughout the story. Some of them the adaptation has not gotten to yet, but the Boros fight matters because it establishes some things, and it's long because of Boros' healings factor. But it does establish that Boros was somebody else like Saitama in a way. He didn't really have limits, but he just was not growing as fast as Saitama, even though he's been at it for a lot longer. And they needed to establish that there are other people out there and that that guy couldn't even really hurt Saitama or touch him. That was an important part of the story. Garo is also somebody like Saitama, but we'll get more into that as the series goes on. There is actual growth and scaling happening in the series that a lot of people don't pay attention to because a lot of them don't read the webcomic. I think it's brought up in the manga and the light novels a little bit because there's that's not really a light novel. It's a transcription of like a radio drama. I think or an audio drama is the better way to put it. But most people read it; they don't actually listen to the audio drama. Understandably, it hasn't been dubbed, so the transcription is the best you're going to get from it. So you read that transcription kind of like a light novel. But there's been some things talking about, and Saitama, it's comedically, but it's still serious to the world, is strong enough every day that he could one-punch the him from yesterday. So he is on an exponential growth trajectory.
Yeah, it felt like Garo was a lot stronger near the end of season 2 than he was at the beginning.
Mm-hmm. And he's going to keep getting stronger.
Yeah, he still got defeated at the end of the season by, what's his name? Bang, was that it?
Yeah.
The older guy. So, he's not, like, stronger than everyone but Saitama yet.
Yeah.
I assume he's going to be, but they brought out that, I don't know where it came from, that gigantic, at the end of the season, that gigantic centipede guy.
Oh, the Emperor Centipede? Yeah.
Yeah.
He's been mentioned
just there
before.
to sort of, yeah. Was he just basically there to distract people so Garo could get away? Or
Yeah, more or
was he
less.
even elite?
It was like a wall.
Yeah,
that,
it's like a bunch of...
pretty much anyone but Saitama and Blast couldn't get past. Maybe Tatsumaki probably could get past him too. She's never tangled with him, and she is like stupidly strong. But there's a lot of like stuff out there that, aside from Saitama, who is getting just exponentially stronger, and even right now is like stronger than anybody in the Hero Association. The only two people that we know of that could deal with that thing are Blast and maybe the terrible tornado.
Mm-hmm.
And we haven't even seen Blast in the show
Blast
yet. He's
hasn't
only
even
been
shown up.
mentioned. Yeah.
Yeah. Seems like he's above it all or something, or just lazy.
Well, he's like really busy doing things. Like he's like on the other side of the planet and stuff like that. Yeah. Which we see that with Tatsumaki several times, where other people are doing things and she's off doing something else. Like way earlier on, one of the first ones is she was fighting like this ancient T-Rex dude who was like really tough, and she's like brought in a meteor to kill him.
Yeah.
And she also, during this event, she was like fighting a big, it was like an octopus thing or whatever. She like squeezed the everything out of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah. Did they show that? Is that in the recap, or does that?
I don't remember.
Like a.
Because we watched the
that in that
recap
sec-
last night too in Japanese. Because talk about Crunchyroll, this is another thing we are going to end up talking about. Crunchyroll is struggling to do its one job. It only has one job, and it's
Show
not
anime.
doing it. Yeah. So, I think you were the one that told me that they were supposed to have done like a dub of the like official Japanese recap for season 2 to get people ready for season 3, and that was supposed to have happened at like what 8:45 or something our time. I don't remember when it was supposed to go live, but
I think it's 7:40.
7:45.
Yeah, I saw. I don't know if it was supposed to be a dub or not, or if it was just upload the damn thing as is.
Well,
But,
so the
yeah,
actual thing was subbed and up on YouTube for like 10 hours before we had looked at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But everywhere was saying this week, a week before the premiere of season 3, Saturday night at 7:45 p.m. Pacific time. They had, they had the times for every time zone, every relevant time zone.
Yeah.
But it was 7:45 our time, and came and went, wasn't there. It's like, what the hell?
Yeah.
There wasn't even a page. There's not even a page for One Punch Man at all
in the app.
on Crunchyroll.
On the website there is, but there's no videos for it yet, so there's nothing you can watch. Remember, I found it by Googling. So there is technically a page that exists for it. Whether you can get it from the search or not, I don't know. You might only be able to get it from Google.
I thought that you went to it and it said no page found or something.
No, there was a page. There was just no videos. It said there was no videos on that page. So.
Well, the app on the TV didn't have it.
It probably doesn't show anything that doesn't have videos. Because the app on the TV probably doesn't actually get you to pages. It just gets you to like a library of videos specifically. Hey, Ethereal.
Yeah.
But yeah, that wasn't the big problem though, right? The big problem of Crunchyroll not doing his job was actually one show we did watch, and even more importantly, I guess, to the anime viewing audience at large, a show we don't watch. And both of them came out an hour late than they were supposed to. Spy Family, which we did watch the first episode of season 3, and My Hero Academia, the final season. Very hyped up. A lot of the people who watch that show are waiting for it. I don't watch it, but I understand how popular it is. And not only was the My Hero Academia an hour late like Spy Family was too, they didn't even have the subtrack on the My Hero Academia upload. They put in like the raw file that was given to them to sub over or something like that. And it wasn't until another hour later that the subtitle track was actually put onto it.
Yeah. Yeah, that was, I think a lot of people talking about that yesterday.
Yeah.
Or whatever it was, Saturday. Basically like, what the fuck, Crunchyroll? Like, all you do is upload files to your fucking server. You don't have this down to a science?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They gave it to the intern on a Saturday.
This is what it feels like.
What says burn down, Crunchyroll, don't let it steal your... Yeah, maybe they should look into High Dive instead.
Yeah. Imagine not watching fan subs. Fan subs are superior anyway. I watch a lot of fan subs. But when we're watching stuff in the living room, we pretty much only end up watching things that are apps, so are on apps. So that's where we don't watch it. But if I'm sitting here at my computer and I'm watching something, I'm pretty much watching fan subs. Some things I want to watch, you have to.
I can confirm. On the website, it doesn't come up in search, so you can't like.
You can only get there from Google
because there's no videos.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can't like go and add it to your watch list or reminders or anything like that. You have to Google it, and then it'll take you right to the One Punch page. All that.
Yeah. Because like I said, I don't think the way their like application or their site or whatever is built to take you to pages for stuff. It's only built to find videos.
Yeah. Well, it's on my list now.
Yeah.
Ugh. Finally.
Let's see. This says
might not even be on my list.
Crunchyroll is a monopoly on anime dubs, so they can be sloppy. They actually don't anymore, though. They almost built one when Funimation and Crunchyroll merged back in the day, though Funimation's not around anymore. But they actually don't, because it's like you say it's not like they have competition. They do, and they're losing to it, right? Their biggest competition right now is Netflix. Netflix is actually crushing Crunchyroll in just the anime department, especially when it turns out that over half of Netflix subscribers watch anime. And if you even took only half of Netflix subscribers, they still have a higher subscriber base for anime than Crunchyroll does. And Netflix does have original dubs now. So Crunchyroll needs to get its act together. It might lose everything because Hulu also has only licensed stuff. I don't think Hulu's done a dub of anything yet, but they have dubs on there. So yeah, Netflix is crushing you, man.
Well, yeah, something's really wrong because like One Punch Man is not showing up on my watch list.
Yeah,
even though I just added it.
Probably because there's nothing to watch.
I guess. So stupid.
Yeah.
Fix your site, your app, or your APIs, or whatever the hell.
Fix your everything. Apparently, you're just broken to the core. Former pirating site.
Mm-hmm.
Never let them live it down.
They're owned by Sony?
Yes.
Are they owned by Sony now?
Yeah. They used to be owned by WB under Rooster Teeth, but they were sold off to Sony, which is why they merged with Funimation, and now they're the only remnant of Funimation. Those offices have just been moved into Crunchyroll.
Man, and even the trailer and everything, they just have a link to YouTube.
Yeah.
You can't put that up on your site? Jeez. Yeah, people are complaining about One Punch Man Season 3. How about Crunchyroll Season now?
Yeah.
Season everything. Oh, shit. Anyway.
Never let them live it down. That they used to be a pirating site.
And, yeah. It was actually shocking to me that Season 1 of One Punch Man came out 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So, I guess imagine how long they would have had to wait if they wanted to wait for Madhouse.
Well, I think that's also why it didn't come out this week, where most of the other fall schedule stuff started, because they specifically pushed it back a week to match the 10th anniversary of the original first season's release.
Oh. Interesting. Well, there was stuff, so enough talking about something that's not out yet.
Yeah.
Watched a couple of things.
Yeah. I mean, on that subject, I already brought it up. We watched Spy Family. That started rolling in again.
Yeah.
It was a decent start to the season. It wasn't a very strong start to the season, but I don't know if, following along the trajectory of the manga from where they left off, there could be a strong start to the season without skipping something. And you don't want them to skip something. You want them to literally just go right into the next thing.
Yeah. I will say, they do have these episodes every once in a while.
Yeah.
They're kind of like side quests or whatever that are just kind of filler, unfortunately.
And that's the majority of the show. And that's fine.
I found that,
it's a slice of life series.
Yeah. I found the last episode of the last season. Is that season 2 as well? Yeah. I think so.
Yeah, the one where Bond and him were going for the walk and they save people from the fire and stuff. Yeah.
I was like, this is just filler end here. So I guess it's...
Although it technically isn't filler because it did come from the manga.
There must be filler in the manga.
Yeah. Well, it depends on what definition, right? So we have two different definitions of filler that people toss around with. And I think the Western versus Eastern definition, right? If you're only used to Western stuff, filler is anything that doesn't progress the story, right? So it's canon, but it doesn't progress the story, so it's filler. Which you could argue that there's some shows or series that are 100% filler at that point because the story never progresses. If you have a slightly more Eastern version of that definition, filler is anything that gets you away from progressing the source material's story. So if it happened in, yeah, people confuse padding with filler. That's a good one. I think this was padding but not filler. Filler is like, oh, the manga is needing time to catch up, so we have to make up content to fill in the gap, right? So this is something that's like not from the source material. Padding is a good word for the other type of filler that you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm just talking about an episode that doesn't advance the story at all. It may very well be further from the manga. It's just it's kind of a boring episode. Nothing really happens. I guess
I was
they're
fine
kind of
with it, though.
reintroducing the characters or something.
But I also
was
think Spy Family, that's also just majority of the story is not progressing the plot, because the goal is that she needs to get Stella's, or while she's doing this, he's trying to find another way to get the job done. But the vast majority of chapters, none of that actually happens.
I mean, but some of it is. I guess I would just say it was not particularly thrilling episode, because like I loved the ones where they're in that underground tennis,
Tournament?
championship or whatever.
Yeah.
Tournament, yeah.
Which, if we're talking about the main plot of the show, that is more padding than anything else, because that has absolutely nothing to do with the mission that he got the family for. That was like another thing he had to do.
Yeah. I guess I like the ones where Lloyd is on a specific mission.
Yeah.
Or he's specifically doing something related to Project Strix.
Mm-hmm.
The ones where he's just kind of like taking a day off.
Yeah.
I find him the best character of the show.
So you actually like the padding episodes, you just like it when it pads around Lloyd.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I like Yor too, but she didn't have very many missions. Like, I do like the ones where she has a mission, but that doesn't happen very often. Like the whole arc where they were on the cruise.
Yeah.
And she had to protect that, her charge or whatever. I like that. I like that whole arc. But this wasn't really, centered around anyone. It was just, the whole family's out. Sketchy guy, Lloyd had to deal with.
But you're saying that you weren't excited by the construction equipment mech battle that they had?
Yeah, that was a bit...
I loved that. I ate that up.
Disappointing, I thought.
It was
kind of an interesting... Yeah, it was pretty funny. But it would have been cooler, I guess, if he... I mean, I know that at one point, he, spins around the treads and ends up launching the other one away or something.
And it was like
over.
knocking dirt into it or whatever, right? It was like the main thing. It was like flicking things at him and everything. And something that wouldn't actually happen. But, in a fantasy, it's great.
I do like... I can never remember his name.
Sir Gentlebread.
Scruffy head guy.
Frankie.
Hey there. What's his name?
Frankie.
Oh, Frankie, yeah.
Frankie
I like how
Franklin.
Frankie is a bit... Yeah. Frankie's a lot more suave than he lets on. I mean, he is a spy. He knows a lot of people, and he knows, how to get into a club, and he knows how to kind of do his job. And he was on basically a date, but with a wait, was he with that woman?
I could never remember
Twilight, but
there's a girl who's like
the one
obsessed
that's
with Twilight.
in love. Yeah, and she couldn't have him, so she had to settle for Frankie accompanying her on this quest. And he got her in the club, and he seemed to know everyone. And at one point, he would have saved her life from a bullet, except what happened there? Was she already?
Oh, she could already got out of the way, and
to.
she threw a knife at the dude's hand. So.
Oh yeah. she didn't really need him to, but you know, if she had, he would have. He dove in front of her. I mean, that was pretty.
I think
But
I pointed this out while we were watching it. Kind of ridiculous that she holds Twilight in such a high regard in every way, but she automatically doesn't like his informant. It's like, well, if he trusts this guy, you think some of your
Yeah.
regard for him should transfer over at least initially. Like, clearly he's good at his job
yeah,
if Twilight chooses to work with him all the time.
Yeah, she just. I think she was just angry that it wasn't him.
Yeah.
Nightfall. Name's Nightfall, otherwise known as Fiona Frost.
Fiona. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll probably remember Fiona. Maybe. I've been forgetting him. I'm probably never going to remember Nightfall.
Yeah. Just read too much of Twilight. But yeah, it just
Yeah.
she doesn't seem too bright, I guess. Because yeah, she should try and get in good with Frankie. Maybe he could give her some pointers on how to impress Twilight.
I don't think Frankie actually knows how to impress Twilight.
Probably not. But at least she'd have an excuse to be like hanging around. If she's hanging around the informant, she'll see him more often.
Well, she did say
Not that I want that. I
they're going to work together again. With Frankie was like, no,
Oh, yeah.
you're going to make me lose all my friends. Get out of here.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. No, I like Yor better. She's Fiona's just not the right one. Maybe she'll fall in love with Frankie. That would be nice.
But also, like, some of the stuff that she did, Yor did in this episode alone, too. You probably noticed, like, why I said I had problems with her fight in Code White. Because I'm like, you're strong enough that she could literally rip apart a tank with her bare hands. She should have been able to just tear that guy's like arms and stuff off. I mean, this one, they get covered by rubble, and she literally just kicks an entire brick wall off of her. You know, like
yeah, it must have weighed tons, like literal tons.
And it's like, well, it's
Yeah,
because
she
Code
saves
White's
that poor
not
guy.
from the source material at all. They were just kind of like working with stuff. So a lot of times when other people work on somebody else's story and they add stuff, you kind of get things either cutting one of two ways. Either people, they're never exactly where they should be. They're either too strong or they're too weak. They're never right on the line.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it was cool, like her fight in Code White with that sort of mech guy.
The
sort of
idea was
cyborg
alright,
guy,
but it was not necessary.
but yeah, they needed to if they really wanted him to be considered a threat to her, they would needed to make him a lot stronger.
Oh yeah.
More powerful in some way. And he was just like a dude with bullets in his chest, like that he could shoot at her.
Yeah, like he was basically a cyborg, but like there's no way, since they're trying to limit it to basically stuff you could do with post World War II technology, that his arm is tougher than a tank. Like she could have just ripped his arm off.
Yeah. But I like how she set him on fire with her oil-based lipstick. That was very amusing. So yeah, I haven't seen, in my opinion, you liked it. I didn't dislike it. I have a feeling it's going to get even better.
Yeah, listen, I didn't think it was that strong of a start, but I prefer still that they do it this way. I don't want them skipping anything. I would rather just see each of the missions that they happen. They are compressing it though. Like sometimes a mission's not that long, right? It's like maybe it's a single chapter of. Technically, actually, every chapter is labeled mission blank, even if they're continuing the same story. But some of them, the missions are just a single chapter, so they'll be like half of an episode. like how this one had two different things.
Yeah.
So the mission number for the episode and for the chapter will end up being offset because some of them are 2-in-1s, right? Like I've brought up the dodgeball is
a lot of the
mission 10 in the show, but it's mission 15 in the manga.
Yeah. A lot of the episodes, especially the ones where they're kind of, not in the middle of an arc,
Yeah.
they'll split up. Basically, it's like 2 episodes in one, 2 short episodes. And that's sort of the established pattern. I will say I don't remember them yet, but I've not enjoyed wait, they didn't have an intro. Right?
Nope, we didn't get an
This is the
intro.
one that didn't have an intro.
We only got an outro.
And I really didn't like the outro. I mean, I think
I don't remember
even the
outro.
one from season 2, I just remember not liking it.
Yeah.
Even the weird one with season 2 with the big feet where they're like pouring tea
I love that one.
as they're falling. Yeah, I liked it better than this. At least it was catchy. Yeah. So
I don't know. Did we even watch the whole outro, or did like after a bit you weren't digging it and you just closed it out? Because a lot of times they have like that skip outro button anyway. I don't remember. I don't remember the whole thing.
yeah,
I'll have to go and watch it on YouTube later or something.
I don't either.
Yeah.
And now, what was it? There was something we watched recently where we might have missed a post-credits scene.
Ruri Rocks.
We need to go back and watch.
I think.
Oh, right.
Which Ruri Rocks had a lot of scenes that were after the credits. So.
Yeah. I really liked Rory Rox's intro and outro.
Mm.
Yep. I don't feel negative about this season of Spy Family. I just feel like
It's hard to feel negative though, right? It's
a bit of
literally a single episode.
yeah. We'll see. I'm sure.
You need what? You need 2 points
Something.
to set like an array or a trajectory. You need 3 points for it to be a trend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll see how episodes 2 and 3 go. I'm sure they'll be very interesting.
Maybe.
Did they even have like a preview of next week? I don't think they did.
Yeah, they did. You know, I think actually that might be why I don't remember the outro so much. You might have started skipping ahead, but it did have like the one where it plays like the spy music and it doesn't tell you anything. Like there's no words. It's just the music playing over a bunch of scenes. So like that was there.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to watch that whole episode again because I'm having trouble remembering it. I might have been just falling asleep the whole time. Yep. But we watched something else.
Well, yeah, we watched Ranma. Ranma came back. We're for season 2, episode 13. That bothered you a little bit, apparently, but
It bothered me.
yeah, just for the fact that you couldn't tell it was season 2 at first. You just saw the episode 13, like this was another part of season 1. Because instead of like resetting season 2, episode 1, it's just continuing the episode count.
Yeah, which I expect on Crunchyroll, but like on Netflix, it usually says season 2, episode 1. So I was like, wait, is this still season 1? I'm confused.
Yeah,
I did not like it. I was just confused for a minute.
and it started with
I guess Netflix is.
the chapter Ranma's Weakness. Which technically I think is like 2 chapters in the manga. The second one is called Cat Fu, or Cat Fist. You can translate it either way. They just get crunched into one episode in both adaptations, I think. Should have also been the first episode of season 2 in the original, but because they chopped off the figure skating arc in the original adaptation, that got moved to episode 1 and 2 of season 2, and then Ranma's Weakness was the 3rd episode.
Well, I was not, even though you mentioned the cat food stuff, I was like surprised that his weakness was cats. I don't know why I was surprised by that.
Yeah. It's such a silly weakness for like the toughest guy in the whole city to have, is like he's afraid of cats. But it's a very important one too. The way the story is written, like
Yeah.
it'll come up many times in the future.
And they did explain it. You were worried that they weren't gonna have the full story of
Oh yeah.
the cats,
Because
the training with the cats.
they've been condensing some things. They've been cutting out some jokes, but
Mhm.
for people who are new to Ranma, we did go through an entire like watch through of the original adaptation like last year.
Mhm.
But for people who don't know, when Ranma was a kid, Genma's like, I'm going to teach him the cat fist. So he's like reading this book that tells you about it, and he starts the training before he reads the warnings about the side effects of the training, or that the training is also technically useless. Though it's weird
Yeah.
that it doesn't work because it did work in a way. Like
Mhm.
I guess they just accidentally invented an actual cat fist, right? But
Yeah.
he
But the
strapped
book, like,
yeah.
the very next page, it just says, like, by the way,
doesn't
this
work.
is useless.
Yeah.
Don't do this.
The downside is it does not work. He's like, why do you have a whole book dedicated to the cat fist if it doesn't work, But anyway, so like he to do the training, he had to strap like dried sardines around him and then toss him into like a den of cats, which mortified him. And he's like, well, I need to cure him of his fear of cats. So then he just started strapping other foods that cats like one by one and just kept throwing Ranma into the den of cats over and over again, because that's the type of irresponsible parent Genma is. This is not even close to the worst thing he's ever done to Ranma. Don't worry, it gets worse the further we get into the series. I mean, technically, I don't even know if it's as bad as taking him to a training facility in a country where you don't speak or read a word of the language and drop him into a pool where now he's cursed to turn into a woman anytime he gets splashed with cold water. That could actually be worse than this. I don't know. That's up to debate. But whenever he breaks down from like just overwhelming fear of cats, his only coping mechanism is to start acting like a cat himself. He yowls, which then he actually just becomes even harder to defeat than he normally is, because now he has like cat-like mannerisms and stuff. So either the training does work and somehow teaches you the cat fist, or the cat fist exists only in broken people who act like cats, so they invented it anyway. I don't know. It's a comedy show, so you shouldn't be taking any of it that seriously, but this is just how it works in their world.
Yeah. Joshua points out that there is a villain in Cowboy Bebop afraid of cats, so he's wondering if this is a real, or I guess a common phobia in Japan.
I don't
Like,
know. I
presumably
think
more
it's
than here.
I think cat fear, like being afraid of cats in general, isn't that common of a phobia, but it's not uncommon either. You'd probably find it in some places, or in some amount in any place where cats have been domesticated, right? Like there's going to be maybe somebody
Yeah.
who develops that fear. You develop it even more if you were tossed into an entire den of cats when you were just a toddler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cat phobia is called ailurophobia,
Mm-hmm.
an intense and irrational fear of cats.
That is a good question to ask, though, because like there are phobias that, for the most part, don't translate internationally. Like they are culture specific. Like widely, there is no fear of clowns in Japan. Like they don't understand why Westerners develop like a fear of clowns or anything.
Yeah.
And I think it's partly because of the nature of the kabuki theater, right? Where a lot of people wear makeup that distort you anyway, and also like geishas wear white makeup with spots of color on it. That they don't also have the same full-on jester-like clown culture that we do. So it wouldn't be something that might terrify little kids. Because usually you only get that phobia if you're terrified as a little kid.
Yeah. Flip says rednecks are masters of the cat fist technique, i.e.
Yeah.
catching catfish using your fist as bait. Yeah. Apparently, exposure therapy is a valid treatment for ailurophobia.
Exposure therapy is a valid treatment for most phobias, as long as exposure to the thing wouldn't kill you.
Yeah.
Typically, what you want to do is you want to break it down in like a behavioral therapy matter where you work your way to full exposure, if you can. But you take it in baby steps. Like maybe you'll start with looking at a picture, like just on a piece of paper of the thing you're afraid of, and then maybe you like a drawing, not even a good picture, but something like an abstraction of it. Then you could work up to like an actual picture of it, and so on and so forth. Maybe you can look at the thing from down the hall, and then maybe eventually you can get close to the thing. That's like a real way that people use behavioral therapy to help people deal with irrational fears.
Mm-hmm. Oh, another name for it is gatophobia.
They never saw It or Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Probably not. Maybe the younger generation might have more of a problem with that, because most of the people who didn't understand this were like the older generation of creators and game devs and stuff who were really young when a lot of our different entertainment were still crossing over with each other. So maybe they didn't see it. Now that like everything's international, maybe there are some babies that were exposed to something that will scare them that you're just not seeing until now because they're 20, right?
Yeah. Apparently cats are extraordinarily popular in Japan. They're seen as a symbol of good fortune, and of course there's characters like Hello Kitty and Doraemon.
Yeah.
The more popular. Plus, there's the fact that Japanese often live in such small apartments. They're kind of the perfect pet.
Well, also Japan still has a culture of like neighborhood cats where there are just a bunch of cats that don't belong to anybody that are friendly. They roam around and people just feed them and pet them and stuff.
Yeah. They probably picked that because it would probably be the least likely thing to be afraid of,
and it's such a ridiculous thing for somebody to have like a deep fear of, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like big strong Ranma beats everybody in a fight, afraid of a little kitten.
Yeah. I love that scene where they're like, the sisters are like putting cats on him.
like he's a cat train.
Like depositing them. Like, here's another one. Here's another one. He's just like frozen.
Especially Kasumi, because like Kasumi is so innocent. Like Nabiki, she would be doing it to troll, right? But like Kasumi is so innocent that she's just like like a kid playing with the cats, putting it on him.
Yeah. Flint says he needs regular exposure therapy for his crippling mastophobia. Is that fear of like eating, like chewing? I think that's what he means.
Maybe, I don't know. I haven't heard of that one.
Yes, well, I hope you get plenty of exposure therapy. Just don't expose yourself to other people.
Let's
masticating.
Let's do like breasts, maybe. Right, that's where the word mastectomy comes from. Fear of boobies. Okay, I actually guessed it before Joshua's thing came out. I was trying to think what could masta be, and I was thinking like mastectomy. I was like, oh, maybe breasts, which would also make sense to why he has that like smirking look on him. Yeah.
No, I thought he just had a fear of masticate. I guess not. It's also a song by Shrezzers.
But one of the things I really appreciate, I was talking about this before the episode came up. The original adaptation took forever to get Gosukenki into the series. Like it was season 4 when he comes in, even though he should have been in season 2. They replaced him with a character named Sasuke, that was like the personal ninja butler of the Kuno household. In this one, we actually get Hikare Gusunkiki in his role, like right away. But imagine that there's like this little 3-foot tall ninja was doing all of the things that he was doing in this episode. But anyway, so the character is this kind of like emaciated, disheveled, kind of like geek of a kid who's into the occult. That, like many people in the series, is obsessed with Akane, right? There's a bunch of people who are obsessed with her.
Yes.
And he now hates Ranma because Ranma is, you know, engaged to Akane. And he wants to try to get rid of him. So he's trying things. I say voodoo. It's not really voodoo. It's, they're a bunch of, like, Shinto practices. But in the original, they translated it to voodoo because I guess that was the closest thing that they could think of. But it's a bunch of, like, hexes and curses and everything to try to get rid of your enemy. None of them actually technically work. But I think... no, there might be one later on in the series that works. I forget. But none of them in this episode actually work. He's got, like, the candle strapped to his forehead and everything while he's doing it. Nailing a doll to the tree. Like, I hate you, I hate you, I hate you.
Yeah. They keep saying, like, you idiot, you moron, you idiot, you moron.
Yeah.
Ends up, of course, pounding his thumb.
And he's like, so he's taking pictures of Akane, and he's like, I need to get rid of this dude. So he tries to start working with Kuno, and they're trying to, like, get Ranma's, what's it called? Weakness. That was the name of the episode. They're trying to, like, figure out what is he weak to. And it's a bunch of just crazy shenanigans the entire episode. Till, like, the very end, like, the actual climax of it, Gosukuki is kind of, like, dressed as Akane in the auditorium. Stupidly, like, anybody's gonna buy that. It's still pretending, even though, like, Akane's right in front of him with Ranma, like... I think she was even talking to Ranma. I was like, what are you doing? He's like, oh, well, apparently somebody kidnapped you and is in the auditorium, so we should probably go check that out. So they, like, walk to the auditorium, and they fall through a trap door that's just, like, filled with cats, and Ranma's trying, like, his best not to be torn over about him. But then he, like, pulls out a tiger. He's like, well, that was my backup plan against the house cats. He's like, anybody would be afraid of a tiger.
Yeah. Yep. And that's when he turns into a cat.
Yep. Yep.
At least psychologically, he actually does.
And then the only thing that could ever bring him back from being in that, like, cat fist state was this old lady that used to live in the neighborhood while they were training, who isn't actually around anymore. They were nice about it. They said it would take too long to get her. I believe in the original, she actually passed away, so they were trying to be, like, I don't know, maybe a little less crude or whatever. He's like, I don't have time for that. I'm gonna dress up as her. That didn't work because if there's anybody in the world that Ranma dislikes the most, it's his own father. So I don't think pretending to be an old lady is gonna help there. And it was Akane's lap that ended up being the one that he retreated to. Because he actually likes Akane. He acts like he doesn't, but he actually likes Akane, so that was the resolution to the episode.
Well, not exactly.
I mean, more or less.
He ends up he's snuggling with her, like, in public at the school, right? And he ends up basically kissing her.
Yeah, and
on
she
the
teapots.
Like a cat would, like, you know, kind of a nose kiss. And then she smacks him, and he flies off Team Rocket style into the blasting
she's
off
like
again.
The only
and I think
person
that cures him.
that found that scene embarrassing because everybody else rationalized, like, well, they are engaged, so it's like nobody else
like,
thought that was a weird situation, other than the fact that he's acting like a cat. That's kind of weird, but
yeah. Although they were all like, oh, did he kiss her? Ooh. Yeah, embarrassed the crap out of her, which is weird. Like, I don't understand the whole Japanese woman embarrassment thing. Like, I mean,
I
obviously
mean,
they're not gonna.
that happens a lot in American culture too. So, especially at that age.
Yeah, but not to that degree. I mean, maybe at that age, I guess. Yeah, like she's just like mortified and slaps the shit out of him just for giving her a little peck on the, peck on the lips.
Yeah.
It's like, but it's in character. It's exactly what she should do, or what she would do.
Yeah, and it's not as bad because in this adaptation, Akane isn't anywhere near as violent as they added in the other one. Because already I think in the Catfish one they added like 5 or 6 different bonks that weren't in the manga. For some reason they thought it would be funny in the original adaptation that instead of giving Akane her actual personality, they were just going to have her hit Ranma more. Like she was just going to be a violent person. And this seems to be closer, so I like that.
I will say that's... Yeah, I mean, that's... I think it was more of a trope in the 80s
Yeah.
than it is now. Where just violence was just funnier.
But it wasn't a trope in the manga. I mean, there's slapstick, sure. She is violent every so often because she's supposed to be like that embarrasses easy, ill-tempered, like, tsundere character, but, like, not to the extent that the original adaptation did it. They also, one of the things that I praised it very, very early on was Akane's outfit. Because the original adaptation removed a lot of her like fashion and stuff. Sometimes they'd have her dressing in basically like her school uniform on her day off. Sometimes they would just like recycle the same day off outfit over and over again. This one, like right off the bat, she had like she was wearing a sweater that was long enough to basically be a dress for her, and it had like a pocket watch design on it or whatever. And
yeah, it's cute.
And she was like that
I feel like
the whole thing.
Back then there was, the whole episode.
No, I mean the whole series. She wears different outfits and stuff like that, like just consistently in the manga. Very like late '80s, early '90s style, especially in Japan, like the way it was. And even somewhat to American styles, because you could tell that Akane as a character really likes global culture. She has a lot of English in her own room. Her name on her door, and all the daughters' doors are written in English, even in like the Japanese version. So it's like she likes the fashion, and they try to take that away from her in the original anime. I'm glad that it's back.
I think back in the 80s they did not put nearly as much money in or effort in general. I think it seems, at least with American cartoons, and I imagine it might have been this similar. It wasn't quite as globally popular, and I think they probably did that to save money because they just it was easier to just keep her in the same couple of outfits.
Maybe
just
I don't know, because this was like a high budget show for the time. This was a primetime show. Like it came out like on the primetime schedule for viewing on TV when it aired. It had higher budget than most of the other stuff. I think they just probably put most of the budget in the background because they have wonderfully painted backgrounds in the original.
Yeah. At the time, it seemed like the trend was to be on spec or whatever meant basically wearing the same outfit in every episode. And it's just a lot less common than it is now, where they'll have characters wearing different things every day, more often, not always, but I wonder if that's also why they have a lot of shows taking place in school, so they can just keep them in the same uniform.
I actually don't think that's the case though in this particular one, because it's just Akane. Anytime Ranma wears a different outfit, they used to put Ranma in the different outfit. In fact, sometimes they go out of their way to put Ranma in more outfits, especially when he was in his girl type form, that weren't even in the manga.
Yeah.
It's just something about how they decided to take that away from Akane. I don't think that Studio liked Akane. It was Studio Dean who used to do it. I don't think they actually liked Akane as a character.
Yeah. So this shows, I guess, the example of Lois in the Superman animated series. I mean, I could be wrong about this. This is just conjecture on my part, but I feel
Yeah.
like that was one of the very earliest sort of animated series that really put some decent budget in and really put some time and effort
Okay.
into making it look really good. Like that.
But also,
Batman was
time
probably
and
the first
effort
one,
might
but-
be more. The average budget for an episode of Ranma would have been higher than Superman the Animated Series.
Really,
Yeah. Like, this was...
like a decade later, a decade and a half later.
Yeah. Because Rumiko Takahashi's stuff, already established from, like, Urusei Yatsura and Mermaid Saga before that, was, like, the highest you could get. Like, people in Japan love her stuff, and she was, like, a primetime thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just a theory
Yeah. I think it's just because they didn't like Akane.
based on observation.
Yeah.
I'm also basing it on American animation, where in the 80s, there's good emphasis, decent emphasis on like storytelling,
Yeah.
but like the animation itself was really shitty. And they just was,
Or like another example, right? Why because I've seen the original so many times that I just have like a different perspective about it. They tried to make it seem like all the other suitors, like Shampoo, for example, who you've met already, were equal possibilities for Ranma, which the manga doesn't at all. For the like, Akane is the only one that Ranma could end up with. But the way they adapted it, they try to mean like, oh, Ranma could end up with Shampoo, or he could end up with like Ukyo or whatever. And it was like they were playing off everyone else. Sometimes even in the openings, trying to make it seem like they had the same weight to them that Akane had. It's like, no. And I think it's because the studio didn't like Akane.
yeah. But I mean, it's from I'm guessing
She's
that,
like one of the main characters.
when you have well, yeah, but like when you have an arranged marriage, is it just like it's a done deal? There's like practically nothing. You'd have to be pretty extraordinary circumstances.
No, not necessarily.
Break that, or is it?
Because arranged marriages still happen, but it's more of like an honor thing, right? And for the most part, you still have to accept the arranged marriage. You could break it off yourself. Actually, there's several times where Akane declares their engagement off in the series, and she'll go back to Ranma and like, you want to be engaged again, right? So like it is like a consensual thing. She could still marry whoever she wanted.
Yeah.
It did appear, Fizz, that the writers liked Hapasai more than Akane, which I thought was kind of weird. They brought Hapasai back in like filler episodes during times where he should have been gone. Like he was gone for chapters on end, like in China. It was like, no, we're just gonna bring him back for no reason. Which is why his appearance in the original one, you'll see him later this one. He's the guy that you said looked like a flea in the opening.
Oh.
Yeah. But like, there's a whole point in the series where he gets brought off to China, and you're not supposed to see him for like 5 arcs or something, and he's gone in any episode that's not a filler episode made by Studio Dean, but then he'll like pop back up in between them when they're doing filler episodes. And you're like, why is Hapasai here? Because they just decided Hapasai was going to be there because apparently they thought the character was funny.
Yeah, I guess it is somewhat up to the whims of
the studio. Yeah.
And if they didn't like Akane, I mean, they probably
Also,
felt like
I like Akane.
Fizchozos. Yeah.
Akane is one of my favorite
This is,
characters in fiction.
Yeah. Who would like Akane? Oh, lovely.
And we reconnected. That's probably what needed to happen. We were going to try to see if the router was better in here, and then we completely forgot. No, we're reconnected now. We came back.
Okay, we didn't lose it. Like,
I don't think so.
it's not a new new episode.
YouTube's been better about that. They give you more time to reconnect now. We were gonna move the router in here and see if it worked, like plugging into the cable, and then we just completely forgot about it and never even tested it.
Why? Yeah. Well, I thought that we were not sure. You did find the coax outlet.
Well, I know where the
over
outlet is. Yeah, I told you last
Okay.
time. Like, I know where it is. We could try if you want, but
Oh, I thought you weren't
we
sure.
just never did it. No, I wasn't sure if the outlet works, because at least from here it kind of looks like it might be painted over, but like I could see it. Physically, the outlet is sticking
Well, you
out of
know,
the wall. And sometimes people just paint over.
Remember,
it anyway.
there's a yeah. Well, there's an outlet near the TV that apparently didn't work, or somewhere in the kitchen or something.
That's why we'd have to just try, and it may not work.
Yeah,
we have to go back there.
It wouldn't
anyway.
work. Yeah. Well, it'd be a good excuse to reset the router.
Yeah, yeah.
Reboot the router. We'll try that for next time. Because I have it right here, and yet I do not have it hooked up with a with Ethernet.
But I will assert
Wi-Fi that range.
That at least from the manga, like the actual original version of Akane is probably my favorite female character in fiction. So if anybody who would like Akane, I do, and plenty of people do. She was a very popular character. In fact, what was it, last season? When they came back around, she was voted like the #1 female character in anime for that season, of like that whole year in the awards. And even Ranma was like #7. Like the girl side of Ranma was also high up in the list. Ranma was on both lists. He was #1 male and like #7 female. Double dipper.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess it's a popular archetype, I guess, the tsundere character.
Yeah, but in some ways she's also the one who popularized it. There were some characters kind of sort of like her before her, but like Akane is the one who really established the archetype going forward for the next like few decades after her.
Well, she's supposed to be the cute one, the cute sister. She's supposed to be the prettiest one.
No, she's not supposed to be the prettiest one. I mean, they're all pretty. Kasumi is considered the prettiest out of the three of them. The oldest one. But she's like a heartthrob. Anywhere they go, like all the guys are fawning over Kasumi. But she's also older.
To refresh the page.
Like Kasumi's a full-grown
I guess
adult.
so.
She's like 19 or whatever. So it's like Akane's still growing into herself. Yeah. But all of the girls are considered cute. Like they have good genetics.
Yeah.
And like all the boys were fighting over Akane at the beginning of the series. So nobody just wants to deal with the Biki because like they're pretty sure she would ruin their life.
Yeah, she's got trouble. Mm-hmm. I guess she did kind of lose out to her older sister when it came to the doctor.
Yeah.
She had the crush on the doctor.
But they'll like have a beach episode or whatever sometimes. That should be like, Kasumi would just be confused that all the boys are so nice to her and she's getting all this attention. And it's like, yes, because you're pretty. That's why. No, Hapasai never falls into any of the pools. Yeah, I ain't saying she's a gold digger, but Nabiki is definitely a gold digger. Absolutely. She ain't dealing with no broke.
Well, at least she is kind of an entrepreneur. She kind of, makes her own money.
Oh, yeah. But she also rips everybody off all the time, too.
Yeah. Doesn't mean that she'd be only
her own family.
Well, she probably would.
Her own family she rips off.
Yeah. She's just, she's just a capitalist. She just likes profit.
It's like, I'll give you that information you're looking for 5,000 yen.
What's that guy's name? Kona?
Kuno? Tatawaki Kuno.
Yeah. At least he came back with the same really deep, manly voice, and still in love with Ranma, the girl Ranma.
The new voice for Kuno, which I said during the first season, fits the Japanese voice more, right? Like it's a lot closer to the Japanese voice, but I will just still never get used to it because I'm just so used to the original Kuno voice, and it's just not even remotely close to each other.
That's weird. What was his English voice like?
His English
higher,
voice was
Or kid?
it was kind of like high schooler in like a live action 80s movie played by a young adult voice, right? He's like, I am Tatawaki Kuno, the Blue Thunder of Furinken High.
Yeah. So kind of like a bit more like, I don't know what you call it, trite, or more what you'd expect from an anime, I guess.
Yeah.
Just a cool high schooler guy.
Yeah. Well, this guy actually has like a really deep voice. It's like, that's...
Yeah.
Because both the Kunos have deep voices. Like, even for a woman, Kodachi has a fairly deep voice, too.
Yeah. I think it's funnier that, like, he speaks like he's, 40 years old or something, or speaks like a, it's definitely full-grown adult. And,
He speaks like a samurai from the Edo period.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And his sister pretty much, speaks like an adult, too. Like, it's hard to believe they're in high school.
Well, he speaks the way he does because of his nobility. Like, he's trying to show off that how rich his family is and that they're old money. Which I do like in a lot of the original adaptation, and they somewhat did that in this one, not to the same degree, but in the original adaptation, they had him speaking kind of like Victorian English to try to let you understand that even in Japanese, he's speaking with like an older mannerism that maybe a rich person might speak in or whatever, but not in the same mannerism that everybody else is speaking around him in the 80s.
Yeah. Right. Well, I like it because it's unique. It's you don't see a lot of like sometimes you'll see like a baby who speaks with an adult voice. It's like ridiculously silly, but I didn't really expect.
Oh yeah,
him
and
to
Kuno's
speak
only
like
like a year older than them. He's like the same age as Nabiki.
He's way taller.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a year, much taller, much more like mature voice, but he's still an idiot. I think it's fine.
And he's very, very rich.
Yes. Well, maybe you should end up with Nabiki.
So, I mean, the studio, Dean, tried to play with that a little bit. I don't think that was in the manga. I think that was just filler, but it's because it makes sense to a lot of people, but it could never work. It might work, but it would never be good for him. Right? That would be the thing.
Right.
But you know what? It probably there probably wouldn't be anything that's good for Kuno anyway, so that might just still be the best case scenario. Have like Nabiki handle his money and then he'll be fine.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's kind of an idiot, so, if she ever decided to just, be nice to him, just to placate him, or, just to be with him since he's so rich.
It's a common thought that a lot of the audience has had. Like, almost everybody comes to the same conclusion at some point in time.
Yeah. Well, that was probably my favorite thing we watched.
Yeah, talk about like shippers and stuff. Even people who don't ship, almost everybody falls into the trap of like shipping the other characters in the show with each other just so they leave Ranma and Akane alone.
Yeah.
They're like, well, these two
Pichon
were
definitely
together.
needs to. He needs to just stay Pichon. Perfect.
No, he actually does get
Never
a girlfriend.
Revert back. Oh, really?
Yeah, like way, way later. The original adaptation never got to her. But he actually does get a love interest that's like waiting for him. But he's still awful. It's Ryoga. So like even though he's got like a girlfriend, he's still trying to get with Akane or whatever. On the day of their wedding,
There's
he's
no
still
Pichon
trying to
in this
crash
episode, though.
No.
Oh, really?
Because he's like never around when Ryoga's not around.
Right. What now? Where's Ryoga?
He's off wandering. He gets lost. That's what happens to him.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
He'll be back.
Uh-oh. I think I lost my video. Oh, there we go. Yeah, he better be. I know somebody who would be very upset if he wasn't in this season.
No, Ryoga comes back
I
a
even
lot.
told her tonight. I told her tonight I watched the Peachon show this weekend.
Peachon was not in it.
Yeah, but the panda was, but
Yeah.
he's her second favorite character.
Ryoga is supposed to somewhat be like a thwart to Ranma, though he's like a massive idiot and horrible person. But who isn't in the show, right?
Yeah.
But he's like one of the most
into the cutest little pig.
Yeah, he's one of like the most recurring characters. He's like Ranma's direct rival, so he comes back a lot.
Ah, good.
Yeah.
That's very good. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I think that was all the anime we really watched. I mean,
I watched Smiling Friends,
a little bit of
which is American animation.
Oh.
Yeah, that season started last night. I watched it today.
Oh, how was that?
It was pretty good. Like it was 11 minutes long, but that's because like
Oh.
it fits one of those 15-minute blocks for Adult Swim. That's what they commission it for. So it's like maybe anywhere between 3 to twice as long as an old Newgrounds cartoon. Actually maybe even up to 4 times as long. Some of those were short, especially with a bunch of the people who worked on it. It's like I love Smiling Friends because it is just a professional grade Newgrounds cartoon where people threw a budget at it, and a bunch of people like, oh cool, we've got money now, let's go make a show. And it was great. It was following this guy named Silly Samuel. Joshua says it was silly. It's like, well, you would hope it was silly when like the person they were trying to help's name is literally Silly Samuel.
Yeah.
Basically, and they do this a lot with Smiling Friends because even for them, they're basically padding time out. Despite it's only 11 minutes, they're padding time out because they have to. These jokes are very condensed. So there's 2 things going on, right? There's the main characters well, I guess all of them are the main characters, but Pim and why am I spacing on the other guy's name? Charlie. Pim and Charlie went off to help the Silly Samuel guy who is just ridiculous. He's completely ridiculous looking. Everything about him. He's got like a slappy hand for one arm. He's got like a block of cheese for a body. He's got like a slinky for another arm. Nobody takes him serious at all, and he hates that nobody takes him seriously. And he's like, you got to help people take me seriously. And they're just like failing to get anybody to take him seriously for the whole episode. The other route, on the other side, you have Alan and the boss trying to pass a surprise inspection to their headquarters, which this is like the only time their building's ever been inspected in like the 40 years that the boss has owned it or whatever. And it doesn't go well technically, but it also does at the same time for the wrong reasons. It goes well for all the wrong reasons. And yeah, I don't know. It was funny. It was great. I laughed a lot.
Yeah. So who came out for? He sounds like Zubul from Amazing Digital Circuits from his character design, just being all hodgepodge of different body parts.
Well, Silly Samuel's new, so like literally yesterday is when it premiered.
Oh, he wasn't in season 1.
No. He's a new character.
Oh, okay.
He made silly sausages though on the engine of his car. So you like the scene with the doctor? Yeah, that was a pretty good scene. There was like they X-rayed him.
Said he's a male Zubul.
Yeah. They had to X-ray him because the doctor's like, hey, can we change his appearance, right? So people could take him seriously. He's got like a cuckoo clock on his head and everything, like a hat, but it's not actually a hat, it's part of his head. And the doctor does an x-ray. He's like, oh, we literally can't do anything to him because there's like major arteries and stuff that go through everything, and like his brain's in his hat. If we try to do anything to his appearance, he will die. And then they're like, well, can we at least put like clothes on him or something? It's like, no. See, he actually breathed through the surface layer of the weird objects he's made out of. So if you put clothes on him, he will also just suffocate and die. And he's like, well, just great. Great.
What is with this character?
He's silly, you know.
Weird.
But yeah, there's only the one episode. It's going to be doing week by week like anything else. It'll come out every Sunday, so.
Mm-hmm. So there was a first season, right?
There were 2 other seasons. This is season 3.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. In previous season, it was one of Gilbert Gottfried's final roles before he passed away, and he played God, saving Charlie from hell. That was a pretty good one. It's probably one of my favorite roles Gottfried's ever done.
Yeah, seems appropriate. Well, cool. I haven't seen any of that, but it seems a bit. It's a little out there for me.
Yeah. It's completely nuts. That's why I love it.
Yeah, I had trouble watching My Friend No-Katan.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, my brain is melting.
Yeah, it's got like all of my favorite animators and stuff from back in the day in it, and they all have roles and everything, and it's great. It's great.
Mm-hmm.
Like even the boss is played by
Well,
God, I can't remember his actual name, but Sick Animations. I love Sick Animations. They're so stupid, and every so often he'll slip into like the voice he does in Sick Animations, where it's like talks like this.
good.
Yeah.
Well, do you want to hear? They have
Mark M,
finally
thank you, Joshua.
come up. Oh, they finally come up with the longest anime name that may just. I'm sure it takes the record today. May hold that record forever.
Oh, okay. What do you think it is? Like, what's it say?
Apparently, it's an anime adaptation that was just announced. Even longer than I've been killing slimes for 300 years and maxed out my level.
Oh, that's not that long of a title compared to some of the longer ones. So.
Yeah. So it was just announced. Well, I guess this was a year ago. Maybe it's just coming out. Actually, it's called "Backstabbed in a Backwater Dungeon. My trusted companions tried to kill me, but thanks to the gift of an unlimited gacha, I got level 9,999 friends, and I'm out for revenge on my former party members and the world."
Sounds very boring.
The animated series. Well, I just thought it was, that might be the longest, definitely the longest anime title I've ever heard.
It's definitely a whole ass complex sentence. It's got multiple clauses in there.
Yeah, as someone is, talking about it in Reddit of all places. One of the replies was, "Bro, I only asked you about one anime. Why are you telling me your entire watch list?"
Yeah. Fo says, of course, it's a generic isekai. That's immediately why I was like, it sounds boring. I like a lot of, because typically light novels are where you get names that are that long from, right?
Yeah. It doesn't say that it's an isekai.
Unlimited Gacha. That kind of just told you right there that it's an isekai.
Oh.
Like, I can infer straight from that part of the title alone that I've got level 99 friends from an unlimited gacha, that this is like a video game world-based isekai that the person got into or something.
Yeah.
But it's like, I used to love, just like, if I saw something maybe it used to be a light novel because that's where a lot of the long, just like sentence-ass titles come from. I used to love just diving in, and they were some of my favorite stuff. Like, it's Never a Girl Online or anything like that. But the fact that so many of them are just like generic isekai now, I have no interest. I have no interest at all. I've lost all my interest in watching this stuff.
Yeah. It's funny. It's kind of following a. Oh shoot! Completely out of batteries. It's following the whole starting off the adventure as the also ran who gets completely backstabbed and like totally destroyed, and then comes back to become to get his revenge once he's got amazing powers. There's like 4 different anime that I've watched over the last year that are that exact.
They just shoved a bunch of tropes into one character. It's like I'm gonna take 5 different stories and put it into one story. That's basically what that title was.
Yeah.
And maybe they balance it well. I don't know.
Sort of.
But I'm not gonna give it a chance.
Yeah. I might have to. I will say the sort of the picture on the poster is like an evil-looking, sort of demon-looking dude. I guess is the main character, and of course he is flanked by 2 gorgeous young women who must be the high-level companions. One of them looking particularly evil and with red eyes.
It's harem of max-level gotcha girls. So it's
That's right.
I play gotcha games, and that title doesn't even sound appetizing to me.
Yeah. Oh. I thought it was amusing.
Yeah.
Don't even know when it's coming out or where.
And I almost kind of agree with Flit, because a lot of the older ones, right? Because he says, I'm not interested in a series in which the title is just a synopsis of the plot. So a lot of times, some of that would just come to translation, right? There's been a few that I've like read and watched where their title's actually basically like a poem, like a short haiku type poem or whatever. So it is still a symbolic poetic title, and you just kind of lose that when you translate it to English, and it just becomes like a synopsis. And that's very much part of the culture when you do that. But when it gets to a certain length, it's like, is this a poem anymore, or are you just telling me the story? And if you're just telling me the story, why do I need to read or watch your story?
Yeah, you just told me the whole story. On the cover of the #1 volume 1 of this, he has a harem of 4 women around. Maybe 5. They're just women ever. Oh. It must be popular enough to adapt into an anime. But yeah, you should see this title on every volume. It's like all kinds of different fonts. It's just like so many words, and you're like, oh wait.
No, you know what the thing is though? If I were to look more into this and I found out that this was actually like a parody, I'd be far more interested in it. Like, the reason the title's that long is because it's making fun of that stuff. Right? That could actually completely change my opinion on it, but
I have to look into it. Let's see. There's a teaser trailer for it and a website. So maybe it is.
Maybe we'll look into it later.
We will.
But we've hit the end of the show.
Yeah.
All right. So thank you all for watching. I've had a great time. Share the show with somebody you hate, actually. Not somebody you like. I want you to go out of your way and share this show with somebody specifically that you dislike, and tell them that this show will make them mad. I'll take the hate watch. Hey, they may end up liking it. Lie to them. I don't care. You don't like them anyway, so it's okay if you lie to them. And tell them that this show will make them mad. And I'll see you guys tomorrow when we get back to Honkai Star Rail. And Marsupial will see you on Thursday when we get to Game Central Junction. So you guys, take it easy until then.
See ya.